What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Snoop Dogg and his basically changing his tune on Trump now that Trump's no longer in office, right? And I actually tweeted, okay? I put out a tweet on Twitter and I talked about how I believe, from what I have been reading and the comments that Snoop had made, he had regret over the way he treated Trump his 4 years in office, right? Because they were actually cool with each other before Trump ran for office. And because everybody in the industry, everybody in the media turned on Trump, he did the same thing. These guys are followers. And I think he went above and beyond. But I do think that looking at his recent comments, now that Trump has helped him out, pardoning Harry O, a friend of his, that tune has pretty much completely changed. All right. Now, this was an excerpt of him praising Trump, right? And this is from Hip Hop DX. "I love what they did," he said. "That's great work for the president and his team on the way out. They did some great work while they was in there, and they did some great work on their way out. Let them know that I love what they did. It is amazing what the work of God can actually bring to life to make people understand that there is a God." Yeah, in an industry that is godless, so to speak. Now, Trump had pardoned a bunch of people, notably Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, and some other people as well. Desiree Perez, which was a very interesting one, and people have their questions about that one. Maybe some other ones as well. Kwame Kilpatrick, I believe, was pardoned as well. And there was some interesting names, right? I honestly think that a lot of times we should work for reform and getting people out. People shouldn't just be sitting in there when they really don't need to be, right? Depending on the crimes, right? But in Snoop Dogg's case, I do think there's regret there. And I think the regret started when Trump had got the CV and Snoop had wished him well. That was the beginning of me sort of seeing the regret settle into his mind and how he treated him. The guy made a whole video basically going at him, You're entitled to like who you want to like. I just find it very interesting that a lot of these celebrities, like Snoop Dogg, they went the extra mile in order to demonize Trump for almost 4 years. And now, because it benefits them, they turn over a new leaf. And I think it has a lot to do with them getting something out of it. Also, him leaving. Because you can't no longer have dislike towards somebody if they're leaving, right? They're no longer going to be in that glare. So there's no reason to pretend like you dislike a guy who you were cool with, right, Snoop? Just like the rest of these celebrities who are going to slowly start to change their tune towards them. Because Trump is somebody who has always had access to the Hollywood elite, so to speak. And that changed because he got into politics around a bunch of corrupt people who didn't want him there. A media that wants to control the narrative. But now that he's no longer there, you're going to start to see these hypocritical celebrities change their tune towards him. Just like Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is a hypocrite. He is very much so a hypocrite. Look at the things he said and done. Look at the way he went at people who even had conversations with Trump. And again, a lot of that was right before you could start to see him change his tone a bit. Because again, a lot of those people know him. Those same people who are vehemently against him, you see pictures of them hanging out with the guy. Now, again, you may not agree with Trump's politics, but when you see people who were cool with him turn on him for literally nothing just because, you should understand that it's fake. It's fraudulent. They were doing it because they did not want to get canceled. All right. They did not want to get canceled. So what they did was they tried to stay out of the spotlight. I would say the spotlight. They tried to distance themselves from him and doing anything in their power to distance themselves from him. That is what Ice Cube did that. Snoop did that. But at some point, I think their senses came back to him, because even Ice Cube was able to have a conversation with, Trump's people as far as getting things done. Snoop Dogg the same way. He was privately having conversations with the White House and nobody knew about it. And I'm pretty sure he told them not to say anything. Like with the situation with Ice Cube, that stuff was just put out there, right? Just put out there. And he didn't want that to happen to him because he didn't want to have to deal with that. But Ice Cube has more of a backbone than Snoop Dogg does. I'm not going to let Snoop off the hook with this. I'm not. You can't just bash somebody for 4 years and think that you give them a nice send-off for helping you out and that we're just going to forget about the things you said and done. No. And I think that all these celebrities who've done nothing but ruin their reputations, make themselves look crazy due to their dislike of one man who's no longer in that seat of power, and we're just supposed to forget what they were saying? No, absolutely not. Snoop is very much so a hypocrite. Absolutely. And a lot of these other celebrities are as well too. But watch how they change their tune towards him, towards Trump, because he's no longer in office. They don't have to pretend like they hate him anymore. They don't have to go above and beyond to prove they didn't like him because he's not in that spotlight anymore, right? So now you're going to see all of these people find some reason to be cool with him again. Snoop is somebody to me that has shown that he does not have the strength of backbone to stand on his own too. When he criticized Gayle King and all those people came at him and he ended up apologizing, going on Red Table Talk, bending the knee because he just couldn't take it. This is the type of celebrity that we have seen for the last 4 years voice their dislike of the previous administration. These are the type of people who are not strong, people who do not know how to stand on their own too. People who clearly are weak-minded and are followers. They're not leaders. No matter if they are married, no matter if they have a family, you have a lot of these guys that don't want to get canceled. You got a lot of these guys that can't deal with online scrutiny or they'll drive them crazy. And they have made it to where they have put themselves in a box, literally. Like, if you look at how they all treated this guy and how him leaving, he still was able to help them out, it makes them look bad, and they know it. And that is why I truly believe that Snoop Dogg regrets how he acted, because he acted like a complete ignorant fool. Yes, he did. There was no reason for him to do the things and say the things that he did, especially to Kanye West and Kim K. I mean, it is what it is with Kim K, but he went above and beyond to show how much he did not like somebody that he actually was cool with. And now, because something was done to help you out or to help a friend out of yours, now you want to change your tune because that's how you've always felt. And I knew that when you wished him well when he got the CV. Because how can you go years disliking somebody who's never done anything to you? And you try to create these scenarios with the help of the lamestream media to invent these scenarios to where, hey, okay, he doesn't like us, when you know that that's really not the case. And listen, I'm not saying that I'm, some MAGA hat wearing conservative Republican. I'm not saying that at all. My politics is very centrist. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And I truly believe that a lot of these celebrities were wrong in how they acted. They were, because especially when they were cool with them. You were around them. You partied with them. You mean to tell me that you didn't see the signs there before? I don't think so. I think you have selective outrage. I think you have a lot of people who are afraid to get canceled. And because they are afraid to get canceled, they go along with the crowd. because they don't want to be seen as somebody who's supporting who the media tells you don't need to support, as if the media doesn't have an agenda. The media is falling off. It's going to continue to fall off because they don't have this villain. They don't have Thanos to deal with anymore. It's like the MCU without Thanos. What is the media without 45? Where is it?